What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. After the assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life, there are a few questions like, one, is Donald Trump okay? Yes, Donald Trump is okay. According to doctors and his own campaign, he walked off his own jet under his own power last night. His campaign says the president is fine. Two, how the hell did this happen? How did a left-wing Joe Biden donor get within 100 yards of Donald Trump on a rooftop, an elevated surface with a rifle, a surface that he crawled on in the middle of the day? And he was so obvious that people from the crowd were pointing him out and people were filming the assassin. How did the snipers miss this? How did the Secret Service miss this? This is very much squarely in the "you had one job" category. I texted a personal sniper friend about this, and he had a chilling response to me this morning. The response came in at 4 a.m. This guy has 20 years of military service, trained with the Secret Service, and is currently active duty. I have no clue what they are doing. I'm still trying to wrap my head around a building 150 yards away that was outside of the security perimeter and had rooftop access. I've trained with and competed against the Secret Service snipers, and they are the fastest, most accurate shooters I've ever seen. The fact that they let this happen makes zero sense. Chilling. What happened to these snipers? These are the snipers that were on the rooftop. They were clearly looking in the direction of the man, the dead man with the firearm, the assassin. Why didn't they shoot? How are you allowed to just crawl up and put a bead on Donald Trump and then fire off 7 rounds? Also, what about the embarrassing humiliation of the Secret Service agents not even being able to holster their own weapons in a frantic, gear falling on the ground, erratic, embarrassing disorder and humiliation? What about this? Why is there a Secret Service agent that is at least 2 feet shorter than Donald Trump there to cover Trump? How the hell is that supposed to work? Just basic physics here. These are just some questions, ladies and gentlemen. To answer these questions, we got to go to somebody who would know better than anyone, a man who is as connected to the Secret Service as any person alive, a man who's been a Secret Service agent, and a man who is one of the most honest people that we've ever met. Dan Bongino was on Fox News just a moment ago and exposed everything wrong with this current moment. Let's have a listen.
You're telling me the best technology you have was deployed and you missed a shooter 130 yards? Say it was 200 yards. The Secret Service CS team, Pete, the counter sniper teams, and I'm not sure those two guys are Secret Service. We have to remember that we don't always, when we go to New York sometimes with high-level protectees, we'll use NYPD ESU counter sniper. So I'm not really sure either way, they'd still be briefed in. The question we have to ask is, if that's the best technology we have, and we had a CS team up there with a shooter that, we're trained out to 1,000 yards in the Secret Service with the counter sniper team. How did they miss someone at most, 1/5 of the way there? It doesn't make any sense. And even worse, it's broad daylight on a white roof. So again, open questions here. Was there forward-looking infrared deployed? Was there aerial support, drones, helicopters? Something happened too. If you go back and listen to the audio, I want you to listen to this after I get off here. When Donald Trump, after this tragic thing happens, you'll see the Secret Service agents. And by the way, I know some of those guys personally. It takes a lot to run into bullets, divorcing the security failure. So at least they did that part, correctly, and they knew what they were doing after the security absolutely failed. But you're going to hear something if you listen closely. The guy mentions Hawkeye on the scene. He's talking about those two, the black BDU with the tactical gear CAT element, that 2-man CAT element. That stands for Counter Assault Team. That's a Secret Service Special Weapons Team, equivalent to our SWAT. So they're there. They all deployed and did what had to be done after the security failed. But having said that, there was no reason for them to have to do that. There's only one entity out there that saved Donald Trump's life yesterday, and it pains me to tell you guys this. And you know what that is? It's Donald Trump. If he moves his head an inch to the left or right, guys, this is a really different show today. I mean, it's bad enough we have to do this show about this topic. Can you imagine what would have happened if Donald Trump did not duck? And looking at the stage there, I'm speculating, but I'm pretty sure based on experience that the bunting around the front of the stage is probably armor. Donald Trump knew to duck. I mean, most people would. He saved his own life. That's just a fact. The evacuation did not go right. I mean, the rule with the Secret Service is cover the protectee and evacuate. The other rule is maximum to the protectee, minimum to the problem. Why minimum to the problem? Because you don't know that's the only problem. It could be a distraction. There could be another person in the crowd. So if you don't jump on the protectee, you could be looking at multiple shooters. So at least that part, the guys there, stepped up there. But the failure here is absolutely catastrophic. And I got to tell you, the Secret Service should be very careful. I can tell you and absolutely confirm from the horse's mouth, from multiple people, not just one. And I saw Congressman Waltz text this out before on X. There have been repeated requests to increase the security footprint around not just the residences of Donald Trump, but the body itself. And they have been rebuffed. Like I said, I can tell you actual quotes. The Secret Service directors completely failed and candidly should resign today. Kim Cheadle has failed Donald Trump and honestly failed Joe Biden, too. He's the president right now. Where's the DHS secretary? I mean, this is you're blaming it on manpower. So just to be clear, we're a $4 trillion United States government and we can't fork over enough money to keep our people alive. And then you're sending out tweets like, oh, this is the best technology we have. Really? To let a sniper 150 yards away from the potential next president shoot a piece of his ear off? That's your victory lap? Give me a break, man.
This is absolute flamethrower stuff from Dan Bongino. I want to just brief you on the drama here. Dan Bongino came out with a report yesterday that was verified by a number of members of Congress and reporters that the Secret Service has multiple requests from Trump's team for larger and better protection. And the Secret Service has denied those requests. The Secret Service came out and said that that's false. And so that is what Dan Bongino is alluding to here when he says the Secret Service better watch out. Dan Bongino is 100% correct when it comes to the schematics of this. This individual was 150 yards away. This was where the shooter was. And this was where Donald Trump was. This was where the Secret Service was. Why didn't the Secret Service engage? Why didn't the Secret Service engage? There are multiple people who are eyewitnesses saying that they saw the shooter beforehand. They saw the shooter. So how is it possible? And they alerted law enforcement. So how is it possible that law enforcement did not engage? Again, multiple witnesses have come forward and talked to the press and said, I notified law enforcement of a mysterious man on a rooftop, and they did nothing. So who's responsible here? Back to Bongino.
The difference between one opinion over the other in a courtroom and anywhere else is, can you back it up? I want everyone at home, go on your phone or computer now, and I want you to look up U.S. Secret Service, red ties, Donald Trump. Yeah, read it. The Secret Service was more concerned about protective agents around Donald Trump. If you think I'm making this up, go to a left-wing search engine if you think I'm biased. Go to Scroogle and put it, oh, you're reading a story right now. They were more concerned about the color of the Secret Service agents' ties around Donald Trump, given the perception that a red tie was somehow, I've got red ties. I'm a Republican. It has nothing to do with it. I just like red ties. They go nice with white shirts. That's an actual, oh, you see it right now. I'm not crazy. This is what the Secret Service was concerned about. They put out, 1,000 tweets about all of this DEI stuff. Do I know that's related here? I don't. I'm just saying, you have one job and only one job. Your job is keep the body alive no matter what. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Jill Biden, the president of Djibouti, it doesn't matter. That is your job. They absolutely, resolutely, 100% failed. Not a single excuse should be made. Not a single excuse should be attempted. This should be the subject of congressional hearings and investigations, because if they can't do this, and this is the best technology you had, then folks, there's no purpose anymore. This isn't the agency I grew up in. It's not. I spent 12 years of my life there, and I'm telling you, I know some of those guys personally. These are good men and women. But this was an apocalyptic security failure. And don't ever forget, An uneventful failure is never a success. And the fact that Donald Trump didn't die yesterday is no reason for anybody to take some kind of victory lap. And before we start sending out plaudits, we better look and do a hot wash on this and find out exactly how abysmal this security plan was.
What an absolutely and completely devastating takedown by Bongino. Never heard anything like it. Scorched earth. And you know what? They deserve it. They deserve it. You deserve it. Who gave the stand down order? This is the greatest question. Who gave the order to say, don't shoot the man who's crawling towards Donald Trump with a rifle? Who gave that order? Why didn't this man take the shot? Why? Why? That is the question. Dan Bongino saying that there is no victory here. This is the greatest catastrophic failure he's ever seen, and he's ashamed of the Secret Service. And I got to tell you, it is tough. It is tough. I got law enforcement in my family. I got people who I know who have worked on the Secret Service or trained with the Secret Service. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is something that is a humiliation and a stain on our entire nation. An embarrassment for all of us. What to do next? Well, keep praying for Donald Trump, because clearly it's divine intervention, not the Secret Service, that saved President Trump yesterday. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See you.